wgnssportsradio.com.
CBS Entertainment looks like we're going back to Wakanda.
Wakanda forever!
Over the weekend, director Ryan Coogler announcing to Deadline the third Black Panther film is in the works. There's no release date yet. Of course, the first Black Panther starred Chadwick Boseman, who died from colon cancer in 2020. Now, Boseman also gets his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this week.
You're not a good person, Rue.
And season 2 ended in 2022. Now it looks like we're finally getting closer to Euphoria season 3. Sydney Sweeney dropping the news over the weekend. Production has wrapped. It'll be 8 episodes. Zendaya, Jacob Elordi, and most of the cast will return. It'll be out sometime next year on HBO. For CBS Entertainment, I'm Matt Wolf.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy, so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Welcome into the Roundtable on this cold, chilly Monday morning. I have one of my good friends now, I call you. And I appreciate you guys so much, Matt, what you guys have done. This Coach Matt Insell, Associate Head Coach at Middle Tennessee State, Lady Raiders. And Matt, it's you're 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I watched the Rice game, obviously, on TV. It's different live. I think you're right there at this thing with a very young squad.
Yeah, we started 4 freshmen at Rice, and my brother called me after the game and said, I don't know if Dad's ever had a team this young dating back to high school. I mean, I don't know if he's ever been this young. And, you know, that they're learning. They're getting better every day, and they're learning. And, you know, you can't, you know, with a young team, you can't skip steps. And there's so much that we got to get better at. And, you know, we're getting better at it. And, you know, would we rather be 4-0? Would we rather be 3-1? We would, but 2-2, and we've made a lot of progress in that. Rice was a good team. We knew when we scheduled them there was a good chance you could lose that game. And I say this all the time: is when you play good competition, there's a good chance you could lose the game. And you know, we beat St. Louis on the road, which was a great win. TSU at home, great win. Any win's a great win. Go to Tennessee Tech. We just didn't play good up there. Play good to start the game, and this, you know, that's the one game we did not play well in. And then we go to Rice, and you know, down there, and they're picked second in the American. I've seen a lot of the American teams. I've seen the team that's picked ahead of them. I don't think that I don't think that Rice will get beat by them. I think Rice is the best team in that league. And
well, you said something off air.
Yeah.
I think that most people that were watching that game, that are Blue Raider fans, don't understand that they started 4 starters that started in the NCAA tournament 4 years ago against LSU.
Yeah. So when we beat LSU, beat Louisville in the first round of the NCAA tournament, was it 2 years ago, whatever it was, and LSU we played them in the second round, but LSU beat Rice before they played us. 4 of the players that started against us on Saturday started in that game. And so they have experience. And for our young kids to bounce the way we did and to get in that thing in the fourth quarter and take a lead and with the ball with about 3 minutes to go and down there, and they had a great crowd. We played 3 straight road games with them. You know, when you got a young team, you usually, okay, let's play at home. No, we've put them on the road. We've battle tested them, and let's see what we got. And we did not pull back with our schedule. Our schedule will be one of the top 10 in the country in non-conference again. And, you know, we're not going to pull back from it, and we're just going to keep getting better every game. And when the year's over and you look at our record, that's what we're going to look at. And this is the reason why we're going to have success this year, is what we put these players through in the month of November. 5 of our first 7 games are on the road.
So, Matt, when you say that to a guy like me that's coached, you've got to worry about how they weather that, right, mentally. It won't be just physical, be mental. How do you keep this team going forward and not, You know what I'm saying? Because you can get beat up on the road.
Yeah, you can get beat up, and that's a concern. It's a big concern right now is not to get them beat down and to keep them positive. And we're coaching them hard and pushing them hard to get there. I had somebody ask me the other day, said, "Are you just going to let it be? Are we just going to sit back and let it be?" And I said, well, if we sit back and let it be, we're going to look up and say, man, we're one play away.
Boy, they sure don't know the Insell.
No, like, we're not going to be sitting there one play. Like we're saying this in March. Oh, we're just one play away from getting through it. No, we got to get through it now. And, we got Tennessee on Thursday night. That's not going to be an easy game. And, but it's another great experience for these young players to get better. We don't have time to be young. And when we hit January, that's when we got to be hitting our stride. And does that mean we lose a game here and there? It does. But it's not something to get down about. It's, we're sitting here at 2-2, and I feel like we're 0-4 mentally. But the biggest thing for me and our staff, as we talked about this morning, is we can't let our players feel that way. We have to make sure that they understand that, hey, we're 2-2 and it's okay. It doesn't mean we're bad. It doesn't mean we're a finished product. It's okay,
Oh, man, I hope they realize from an old coach looking from 30,000 feet away is how close they are.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, to me, I'm sitting there. I'm in the stands up at Western Kentucky game, which, man, we played so much better up there. I know you and I talked a little bit about it off air. And, again, they're so close. Mm-hmm. And my wife hears me yell as Western scores because you guys went up one, right? So they're close.
And as a staff, we're trying to figure out how to coach them. You know how that is. We don't. I said this. Dad and I were talking about this Friday night at dinner. If we're down one, what are we going to run to score to win that game? To win a game, we're still trying to figure out what they're best at running right now. And so we found some things out in the Rice game, a couple offenses that started clicking with them, and that we've been trying to figure that part out. What's going to make them click? What's going to make them? What's going to fit this team better, the best? Where last year's team, maybe a high ball screen fit that team. A Savannah Wheeler, maybe that fit them. Maybe this year's team could be more like an Ebony Road team where we're going inside, and playing from the inside to outside. And helping our guards understand that when the ball does touch the paint, it's going to be so much easier for them. And that's the biggest thing now is we need to throw the ball to the block. We need to get it inside to Blair Bogus or to Macy Pfeiffer and let them draw double teams. Let them, if they don't want to double, let them play one-on-one in there because they can score on anybody. And, those type of things is what we're trying to fill out right now. And, it's hard when you're playing. We need more practice right now. And,
and you're not going to get it because after the Tennessee game, you get up in the next morning and go to Florida.
Go to Florida, get ready to play Princeton and Mississippi State. And the Tennessee prep is so different than all the other preps because
they play differently.
They play different. If we go in there and just say, you know what, we're going to do this, and this week, we're not going to be prepared to play Tennessee because Tennessee's not going to let you do what you're comfortable at doing. And so we have to make practice very uncomfortable for them to get them used to how Tennessee's going to play. And if we can do that, then we'll have a great chance on Thursday night.
Matt, let's kind of break down your freshman class, and then we'll take your transfer girl and where they're at. What do you see that they have to improve on? Let's talk your point guard from Taiwan.
I mean, it's probably as talented as a player that we've had in the program in terms of just raw talent. I mean, she is exceptional when it comes to just her talent alone, but she's got to learn how to play an American style of basketball. She's struggling right now with physicality. She's struggling right now with some mental toughness when she gets a little tired of pushing through that wall because their whole life when they get tired, they pull their jersey and say, I want to come out. Well, that's okay, but you have to push through it every now and then because, okay, you're tired. We got somebody at the table for you to come out. Let's say that horn doesn't blow for 3 straight minutes because there's no fouls, there's nothing. You got to be able to push through those things. And I had a talk with her yesterday just about that is you have to learn how to find some mental toughness and push through some walls. And because there's so much more in you then you know. And so we talked about that, and then you got Kirsten Verhos, our other point guard. That's same type of thing. Just learning mental things. It's like, and Kirsten played good on against Rice. Had a really good day against Rice. Got us in our offense. Did those things that we needed to do, but 55 seconds to go in the game, we're down 4. Hey, we're going to play it out and get a stop. With 2 seconds on the shot clock, she runs to go foul somebody and leaves her man. They throw it to her man, and her man hits a 3. So it's just a little thing of understanding that, because these kids never play with a shot clock. They don't know that, okay, we're going to play it out. We get the stop. We call a timeout. We advance the ball. Now we can play. We score. Now we're down 2. Now we'll worry about fouling. Now we'll worry about that kind of thing. And, so helping them, and it's not just her, it's all of them. They were in a situation on Saturday, and that situation that we can learn from and get better from. And, it's making us lose hair from time to time. But, they're fun. You got Carson Swaney, got her first start on Saturday, and somebody that just tough. Like, her toughness is what's pushing her through. And she knows how to push through that wall. She won a state championship in high school. She was pushed very hard in high school basketball by our high school coach, very well coached in high school, where he put them in tough situations, and they had to learn how to play through things. And that's carrying over for her right now. And I wish she would be a little bit better practice player. But she is, and when it gets in the game, she brings that mental toughness. She battles it out. She was guarding a kid from Rice that's a 4-year starter, that's probably was, she's a couple inches taller than her, more athletic than her, and for 35 minutes she battled her and never gave an inch to her. And that kid is an all-league player in the American Conference, and you wouldn't have known it on Saturday because of the way she played. So
let's look at your 2 big girls inside. Mm-hmm. And then the Spanish girl coming off the bench.
Yeah, no, I think Blair and Macy are elite freshmen for Middleton at this level right here, and I think they're very, very good players. And Blair is scoring a bunch of points and freshman of the week in the conference last week, and averaging 15, 16 points a game, and 6 or 7, 8 rebounds a game, those type of things, and doing some really, really good stuff, and wants the ball and has that work ethic and all of those things she has. I mean, there's not a second that I'm in that facility if she's not in class. She is in the gym working. On game days, I go in. It amazes me. I've never seen a player on game day work as hard as she does in the morning. She's in there at 7 a.m. going through a 4-hour workout of getting her mind ready, and that's going to pay off down the road. She's going to be a dominant player in this program as she goes through the next 4 years. And Macy Pfeiffer, it may not show up scoring-wise what she does, but she is a game changer for us out on the floor when it comes defensively, when it comes to rebounding, and even offensively. At Tennessee Tech the other night, she makes 4 threes. The other night, to start the second half, we need a bucket to start the second half, and we go to her. And she hits a 3 in right away. And, she's having to play some different spots, more facing the basket than she's probably done her whole life. She's always been around the basket. But then late in the game against Rice, again, we call her number again, and we run an offense that gets her on the block. And she hits that, she goes up and under and scores it to get us up 1 there. And just an exceptional talent. The one thing about both of them, and about all of our freshmen, they're great basketball players, but they're even better human beings. And they're just they're somebody you want your young children to look up to, because you want, if somebody says, hey, who do you want Evie Insell to be? Well, I'd love for her to be Macy Pfeiffer or Blair Boggus or Carson Swaney. Any of those players, our freshmen, any of the 6 of them are just great individuals. And then you got Nikki there, that's Nicole, that's she's 6'10". She's not there yet. She, at her coordination, all of that kind of stuff hasn't caught up. And if she'll just be patient, she's going to be dominant. But she's not there yet, and I know everybody wants her to be dominant right now. And it's like the big guy.
It's so unfair.
Yeah, the big guy that played for Purdue, that's playing for the Grizzlies now.
Zach Edey. He
wasn't there yet as a freshman. It took time to get him there.
And you because I follow Purdue because of my cousin Matt's the head coach. They were vicious. Fans were vicious on him.
Yeah.
And again, it's just is a process.
It is.
Talk about the process you guys do with her. What are the steps that we should look at so that we can encourage?
I think that the biggest thing for her is for her to stay positive, number one. And that's the biggest thing that we're with her right now. Don't judge her success on playing time. Don't judge her success on stats. Judge her success on an everyday battle to win. And she's doing that. She's in the gym with our coaches. Tom and Nina do a great job of working with her. Every day she's getting individual workout. Even yesterday on a Sunday, she's wanting individual workout. She's watching film and studying her game, from practice film to game film to just different situations. And, just her strength is something that we're talking to her about. She is 6'10", 6'11", but it doesn't mean she's strong. She's got to get stronger. She's got to understand how the weight room is going to help her. All of those things. And I'd
almost tell you your strength and conditioning coach might become the most important
person in her life.
Yeah.
And, she's getting better, and it doesn't show in playing time, but we see it every single day. We see improvement in her every single day. She's not ready for that grind of that Rice game to play 25 minutes. She's not ready for that. And to be honest, we're such in a grind right now trying to win those games that it's hard to take a Blair Boggess off the floor. It's hard to take a Macy Pfeiffer off the floor in those situations because, you'd like to get Nicole some time in there. But you know what? 35 minutes for Blair Boggess is pretty important in those type of games if we're going to have a chance to win those games. And I know everybody wants us to play 10 or 11 guys, but you can't really do that at this level that we're trying to play at. This is not recreation ball. But we played 9 guys, I think, the other day, double-digit minutes. And, that's a lot of players playing when you get 9 playing double-digit minutes, that's a lot. I watched Connecticut play yesterday. I think they had 6 play double-digit minutes. And they're no one team in the country. And so it's a grind. And we're playing Tennessee on Thursday night. It's going to be a grind in there. And I can promise you this, we're not going to back from Tennessee. We don't care that they're Tennessee. We don't care that they play in the SEC. We play a lot of SEC teams. We're going to go out there and be ready to play just like we are every game.
Matt, when you look at this team offensively, what are some things that you like that they're doing, and what are some things that you want them to improve on?
And we can start with improvement is when we start, we have to get better at execution. And we got to get better at knowing why we're executing and what we're running and why we're running it. And, we're not able, we don't even got 3 or 4 of our main plays in. I mean, it's just because we haven't learned those. We haven't learned the easy stuff yet. So we can't really get into the complicated stuff of back doors, the complicated stuff of quick hitters and all that kind of stuff, because we're still trying to understand the concepts of what we're doing in our continuity stuff. But once we figure that part out and figure out our execution part, then we're going to be a lot better offensively. And we've got to understand why we're running things and not just to run it. Why are we running this? Why are we running middle motion? Why are we running whatever it's Utah or whatever it is we're calling? And what are we trying to get out of that play? And not just, I say this to them all the time. Sometimes you have to turn down a shot to get a better shot. And we haven't got that concept yet of maybe I need to turn down this contested 17-footer because one more swing of the ball, we're going to get a wide open 3. And so, that's a big part right there. Now, what I do like is we're aggressive. We play with a lot of confidence. We're not thinking a lot when it comes to should I do this or should I do that. They're just doing it. And, so now if we can get them to understand why we're doing it, that's going to be better.
We're going to take a break, and we'll come right back and finish those thoughts. Mm-hmm.
Sign up.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know. With digital check-in and multiple locations around town, MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
Sign-ups are going on right now for First Shot's Winter Basketball League in Rutherford County. Coach Andy Herzer guides kids to sharpen basketball skills and build teamwork through exciting clinics and games. Since 2003, First Shot has empowered youth to grow in mind, spirit, and body. Don't miss out. Join the fun and develop lifelong skills. Visit FirstShotTN.org today and register for the Winter Basketball League. That's FirstShotTN.org.
I've been helping people from Murfreesboro for over 30 years and spent a lot of time there over the years.
We love Murfreesboro. We have lots of friends down there. We've partnered with Middle Tennessee State.
And we found more and more people asking for our services, and at some point it just made sense to open up an office there for the convenience of the citizens of the community and the surrounding areas.
We wanted to actually physically be present there and not just going there a lot.
It's the most magical day of the year, and you can watch it all live. Big G TV is where Christmas comes to life with coverage of the Murfreesboro Parade, Sunday, December 14th at 2 p.m. Brought to you by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Middle Tennessee Electric, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Woodfin Funeral Chapels. See every float, every smile, and the moment Santa arrives on Big G TV. Streaming at wgnsradio.com/parade.
Life's too short to stress about insurance. That's why Ray Call at Rayburn Insurance is here to make sure you have the right coverage without all the hassle. He'll work hard to provide you with personalized service and finding the best solutions for you and your family. Whether you're looking for auto, home, or business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. Let him handle the details so you can focus on what really matters.
Good Neighbor Events is brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control, Old National Bank, and the law offices of John Day.
Get old. Old National Bank, that is. Old National Bank has the experience and service you need to buy a home, make investments, even online and mobile banking. Old National Bank is in the borough on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
Old National Bank at 2230 Dr. MLK Jr. Boulevard, which used to be Mercury Boulevard.
Visit us and enjoy warm, homemade cookies at Old National Bank.
Old National Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
78 years of local service. That's how many WGNS has been around for you. The lighting of the Rutherford County Christmas tree will be on Friday, December the 5th, 5 o'clock in the evening, on the east side of the historic Rutherford County Courthouse. That's Friday, December 5th, 5 in the evening, on the east side of the Murfreesboro Square. The community sing-along for Handel's Messiah will be at MTSU on Sunday, November 30th. 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the Wright Music Building. That's Sunday, November 30th. This is the weekend to drop off those turkeys at Greenhouse Ministries. The turkey drop-off is 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening this Friday, and the turkey pickup is this Saturday. You have to have a voucher to pick up the turkeys, and your pickup time is on the voucher. Again, the turkey drop-off at Greenhouse Ministries is this Friday, 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening. For more information, go to greenhousemin.org. Get your events to us at least 2 weeks before they occur. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
We'll see sunny skies here for this afternoon, a high in the mid-60s. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies develop, a low near 46. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki from the WGNS Rutherford Weather Center.
Currently, it's 41.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. MTE's EV Ready program provides members with $50 in bill credits toward the installation of wiring to support 240-volt charging in their garages. Learn more at driveev.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable. and WGNS. I'm Andy Herzer, founder and executive director of First Shot. I'm going to do a shameless plug like I always do. We have opened up our Christmas annual ask where we're going to give 60 to 70 kids a hoodie, a gift card, and we're going to have a good Christmas dinner with them on December 18th. So if you would like to give, you can give me a call at 615-631-5312. Spread the joy. Help some underserved kids in Murfreesboro. Matt, welcome back in. Let's go back to, I just love the process. I'm one of those analytical coaches of how do you build a team.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the offensive stuff of what you believe, besides getting the big picture before you can add the other more complicated stuff. What else do you have to work on offensively?
I don't think we biggest thing offensively is we have to play from the inside to outside. And it doesn't mean that our inside has to be our leading scorer, as you well know. And when guards understand that if the ball touches the paint, and I say this to them in every pregame talk, paint touches is a offensive key. If the ball touches the paint, whether it be on an entry to the post player or off a drive, something positive is going to happen for our basketball team. And we're trying to get that through to them is even every ball screen you come off of, your foot should touch the paint and then retreat out if you don't have it. If we can get that point across to them, if we can get the point that when Blair Bogus or Macy Pfeiffer or Nicole or Stacy or Gracie or Jenna, whoever it's in there, shows numbers, throw them the ball. It doesn't mean you're throwing it to them and it's a dark hole that we're going down and it's never coming out. No, it's something positive is going to happen, because if they do guard Blair or Macy one-on-one, they're probably going to score in a one-on-one situation. So it's now the next time they're going to have to adjust and bring a double team. Now Savannah Davis has 18 points because she's making threes. Savannah goes 3 of 5 against Rice from the three. Well, a lot of that was because of what Blair was doing inside. So now she got open looks. Elena is going to get more open looks when the ball goes inside to Macy or to Nicole or whoever it shall be. And so I think that's what we're trying to get across to them right now. And I was talking to a coach this morning. They said, are you going to go inside against Tennessee with their size? Well, we're not going to change what we do offensively. If they block the shot, they block the shot. But we have to continue to get better as a team every single day. And if our emphasis is to get paint touches, then Tennessee better be ready. We're going to get paint touches, and we're going to emphasize that all week of practice. Is we've got to get to the paint, because something good will happen. If you drive it to the paint, they got to help kick it. Now Yuhan does a good job of getting in there, but when she gets in there, she thinks, well, I've got to jump pass and I got to do all of that. That's what we were just talking about off the air. Is there's so many steps that's been missed in generations of players playing basketball of the jump stop.
Let's kind of have that conversation. Mm-hmm. There's a process in building a kid from 5 years old to high school age. Mm-hmm. And it's really what are your thoughts of, and what are you doing with Clark? And why are you doing it that way?
Clark is a very talented basketball player that can shoot. You've had him in First Shot. He can really shoot the basketball and score it and do things. But I think I've got guys calling me all the time, that kids at the same age and all that, hey, let's play the City League. Let's do this in the City League. Let's put a team together in the City League. No, it's a process. He's got to learn how to dribble. He's got to learn how to pass. He's got to learn how to do all of those things before I even think about putting Clark into a City League game and him playing with other guys, because then he skips steps. And now we're 13 years old and we don't know how to dribble or pass. And, that's the way I was brought up. I think First Shot, I'm not saying, Andy, because you're sitting here, I think First Shot is one of the greatest things there is. And my son loves it because he's learning how to play the game. Last year in First Shot, you had Emery Lanning out there teaching in Clark's age group. Well, Emery Lanning's pretty good. She's in the Hall of Fame at Middle Tennessee. And so it's not just a normal daddy ball over here that somebody's coaching a team because I want to coach my son. No, We're having to learn how to play the game, and that's what Clark's doing. And my daughter's going to do the same thing: is go to first shot and learn how to dribble, learn how to pass, learn how to cut, learn how to get open, all of those things.
So fast forward this to a college kid.
Mm-hmm.
When you get them, it's amazing to me how much time we had to spend 20 years ago teaching them how to pass, how to dribble, and how to shoot.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
You're still having to do it. Yeah. I mean, we do a drill every day post entry, and our guards thinks it's just a 10-minute drill that the posts get to score in because we're throwing it to them. No, we're having to work on how to enter the ball to the post. That's as much of the drill than it is the post having to score one-on-one. Is because we don't really know, guards haven't been taught how to enter the ball into the post player.
Well, and a lot of that too, don't you think, Matt? When they're in high school, they're the best player.
Yeah.
They're not told to do that. They've not been coached to do that. Let's just be real honest too. Some of it's not their fault.
Yeah, we got freshmen that think you stand on rest on defense, and because they're in high school, they've been told, and I get it, because you don't want your best player to foul out. Hey, don't foul. Don't get around somebody. Dad said he used to do it all the time with his players. Hey, you go over here and guard this guy because that guy's not very involved in it, and they put your best player off of somebody so you don't get them in foul trouble because you need them offensively. Well, in college, if you rest on defense, you're going to get torched. And
everybody finds the weakness, don't they, Mike?
Exactly. And we're trying to change that mind frame of our freshmen right now, and even our transfer, Elena, because at her old school, she scored it so well, she didn't have to play much defense. Well, at our level, you have to guard somebody. And so we're having to change that mindset, and they look at you like you're crazy. Well, how do you change that? You have to practice that every day. It's got to become a habit every single day of defensively is you got to guard people, and you got to really get in a stance. You got to cut people off. And the one thing defensively that drives me crazy is, well, where's my help? No, can you guard the ball? You shouldn't have to have help. Jalen Gregory was our best defensive player the last couple of years. Very rarely did we have to rotate to help her.
My greatest person that you guys have coached that changed that was Pickle.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Jackie Pickle.
Jackie Pickle, yep.
I thought she was a horrible defender her freshman year.
She was.
But, man, she became an elite defender.
Became an elite defender, and it becomes a want to. And Jackie had that want to about her. Jalen Gregory had that want to about her, that, hey, I want to guard somebody. And, it drives me insane up the wall when, well, Coach, I didn't have help there. Or, Coach, I got screened. No, there's no such thing as college as you got screened. You got to get through the screen. You shouldn't need help. You got to cut the ball off. And, those type of things. Because if you're playing defense and you get beat, and which then forces the help side to come help, guess what? You've opened something else up.
So when you're talking defensively to the girls, and again, it's all a scouting.
Yep.
Of how you're going to play. So they've got to learn to adapt how you play every game. It's going to be a uniquely different situation because of the talents of the other team.
Exactly.
Explain that, what you guys do in your film
our biggest thing
defensively
in what we say is we want to eliminate their comfort. And so what is Rice comfortable at? So Rice had a player the other day, which is an incredible stat line. They have a 3-year starter guard that's their leading scorer, averaging 16 points a game. She scored 32 points in 2 games. Of those 32 points, 26 of them have come at the free throw line. She only made 4 total made field goals. And so we had to really adapt how we were going to guard her. We had to change up some stuff how we're going to guard her, because if we go out and pressure and get up in her, she's going to go by us and we're going to foul her. And now she's going to go to the free throw line. So then our objective when we're trying to guard is we want to get you out of comfort. We want to get up pressure. You want to have good denials, all that. With that kid, we softened up a little bit because we wanted to keep her in front of us. We wanted to contain her a little bit. And so that was a different mindset of how we were guarding her. Where the Tennessee game, it could be totally different how we're going to have to guard. We got to do different things. We got to figure out in film and also in scouting is what is Tennessee comfortable at, and then we want to eliminate that comfort for them, and that could be a total different totally different than how we guarded Rice. It could be the same as we guarded Tennessee Tech, but it could be different how we guarded St. Louis. All of those, every game brings different things, and it really is personnel. If you've got a 5-player that can't shoot, why are we going to go out there and guard that? We can keep our big kids at home and give help. If you got a 5-player that can shoot, which Belmont has been a tough matchup for us the last 3 years, because we've had Anastasia Bodareva that's 6'7", that we got to keep her on the floor. Well, Anastasia can't get out on the floor and guard that way. Well, Belmont's 5-player is a 50% three-point shooter. Their 4-player is a 45% three-point shooter. There was really nowhere to hide Anastasia defensively. So now we had to bring Anastasia out on the floor. Now that opened up the basket for them. It took our rim protector away from us. Okay, then we made the decision we're going to keep our rim protector at home and try to figure out how to rotate to get to him. Well, then the kid makes 5 threes. So they became a tough matchup for us just because of that one player they had. And so you got to figure out ways to eliminate comfort.
So, again, you guys, you have just gotten an offensive lesson on philosophy and a defensive lesson on philosophy of the Insells for the last 20 years at middle, because I think you guys do it better than anybody. And so your weakness defensively right now?
Probably is we don't have a rim protector right now. And that's not Blair or Macy's fault. I mean, they're just not shot blockers. And so with them being younger, they're not going up like Anastasia. We led the nation in blocked shots the last 2 seasons. We've had them rim protectors in there. Nikki is not ready to be that. Yes, yet Nicole's not. And so, so now it's how do we teach Blair and them to be rim protectors? Well, take charges. And that's one thing we're working with them on. You may not be able to block the shot, but you can rotate over and take that hit. Now that becomes even better than a blocked shot because now you get a foul on them. And so that's probably our weakness right now is rim protector. And then getting the young girls, the young players on the perimeter to understand that it's easier to guard your man when your man doesn't have the ball. So deny her the ball. Don't let her catch. And so getting them to understand that is something that we're working on with them right now. And even Elena, our transfer, that's a special gifted player that we're glad we got her, is helping her understand that it's going to be easier for you to guard your person if your man doesn't have the basketball. So deny her the ball one pass away so she don't get it.
Matt, you look at this. I think it's just always every year I look at it and I shake my head when I see your schedule.
Yeah.
And
we got to fire the schedule.
Most people, and that's you.
Yeah.
Most people, when they have such a young team, they really change their schedule. Because I'll never forget Bill Foster, who was at Virginia Tech, going and listening to him. He said scheduling is just as important as recruiting.
It is.
So in this, here's you got this young squad, but you might have made it a tougher schedule.
It's probably the toughest schedule we've had in the last 3 or 4 years. And, it's a lot of it has to do with we can't get people to play a lot of times. And who we play is the only people that play us. But you think about this with this young team, they really haven't played a traditional game yet. And even Thursday's not going to be traditional for them.
When you say traditional, I know what you're saying. Why are these games not traditional?
Well, our first game of the year is a school kid game. So now you've got 7,000 to 8,000 little kids that are in second grade screaming the whole game. Well, that's not traditional. I mean, that's a different type of game. Then we go on the road for 3 straight games. Well, that's road games. I mean, it's different when you go on the road, how you travel, different things. And every road game is different, whether it's flying or driving. And, we fly to a road game at St. Louis, win that game. And then the Tech game became a different road game because now we're not going up the night before. Now you're going up day of game. You're getting there 2 hours before the game. Your first time you ever, for our players, it's the first time any of them's ever stepped in Tennessee Tech's gym. And so you're dealing with that. Then you have another road game, and then you're going to have the Tennessee game on Thursday night that there's only 200 tickets left. I mean, and the one thing that I'm excited about more than anything about Thursday night, and why are the Tennessee game? We're playing that for Murfreesboro.
No, I think not just Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
I think for Middle Tennessee.
For Middle Tennessee.
All the people now that can get
Yeah.
and it's just good for women's basketball.
It's what's right for the game. And they haven't played in Murfreesboro. They haven't come to MTSU since Pat is no longer there. And so when Pat was there, she came and played here. Played Dad here. We had a big crowd, and we have that picture in our office still of when the last time the Lady Vols were here. And we take pride in that picture because when you look around that arena, there's more blue than orange. And for years, Tennessee took pride that the Lady Vols, when they come into your arena, they take over your arena. They did not take it over that day in 2014 or 13, whatever year that was. There was more blue in the arena than there was orange. And we take a lot of pride in that fact. Now, Thursday night, there's going to be more blue than orange. And we're going to take a lot of pride in that. And they're not going to take over our arena on Thursday night. The Middle Tennessee women's basketball fan base, and our fan base is just as passionate as the Lady Vols fan base, as you well know. They come to practice, they do all that, and we have taken a lot of pride that our arena is going to be blue on Thursday night. And this game is great for women's basketball. This great game is great for our community. It's great for our campus. When's the last time at a sporting event there's been this much hype about a sporting event on Middle Tennessee's campus when in terms of close to being, and probably will be by Thursday, a sellout crowd? There hasn't been that much talk about that. I mean, it hasn't been that much talk around campus in a long time about a game, whether it be a men's game or a women's game. And so it's exciting for that. I came into the office this morning and had 6 people standing there trying to ask me, hey, what do you want done on this? Or how do you want this done? I'm like, guys, I just want to play the game. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, that's what coaches want to do, right?
Y'all figure out the logistics. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to slow them down and how we're going to guard them. You know, y'all figure out who's going to park where and how we're going to get this person in or get this person into the game. And I'm like, I'm not worried about that.
For all you listening,
yeah,
Uber is a great friend.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're worried about parking, how far you got to walk, you know, Uber.
Yeah. And so it's going to be exciting around there. I know the boulevard that's right there beside the arena that's right there, the restaurant. Jeff, I talked to him earlier yesterday, and he's pumped up about it. It's already getting reservation requests pregame and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's just a lot of excitement. It's going to be a lot of noise around campus that day.
Again, it's just not about basketball. You're putting 11,000 to 12,000 people in an arena. They're coming out and eating dinner before they come. It's good for our community. It's good for so many different things.
Yep.
And my hat's off to you and Coach. I mean, I think you guys have always embraced it.
Yeah.
And you know, you want Middle to win, but you also want women's basketball to win.
Yeah, we want
talk about that.
Yeah, it's important. Our sport grows, and our sport is growing leaps and bounds right now. And you know, you go to the Final Four, it's sellout crowds now, where it used to be they'd give tickets away. And you know, there's no giving a ticket away for this game on Thursday night. I can promise you. I've had a lot of people. I personally bought 40 more tickets because I've had so many people asking me for tickets and different things like that. And you know what? I'll spend my money if it gets that person to a game, because guess what? The next time they come, they'll buy a ticket to come. And Dad, I think my dad has personally bought over 150 tickets for this game. And what he's doing with that is trying to grow our fan base, is people that haven't come and watched us play, that we've been asking to come to games. They're calling, say, hey, I may want to come to that one. Good. I'll pay for your ticket this time. Next time you pay for your ticket. And, you know, those type of things is what he's doing. And we're doing is trying to grow our fan base through this game. And now when we show up against Auburn, let's hope we have 8,000 or 9,000 more there. You know, when we show up against Memphis, let's hope we have that same thing.
You know, but I think you guys have not just done it through who you played. Mm-hmm. You guys have been really instrumental in getting out in the community, growing relationships. Talk about that responsibility as a coach and a staff.
It's a huge responsibility. And you are, I mean, we if we're not going to get out in this community and support this community in different things, then why should we expect the community to come support us? And if there's an event in this community, we're going to try to be there. If we can't be there, then we've probably got something going on that's causing us not to be able to be there. And Dad's done that for years, and this program is going to continue to do that. We want to support First Shot. We want to support Wine Around the Square. We want to support all of those things because it's important to our community that all of those things are happening. Because it's helping so many people. And we come up to the farmers market on Saturday mornings. And, granted, there's a lot of other people that's there, but, it's important that my wife and I are there because we want to be seen. We want to talk to people. We want to shake hands, all of those things. And we also want to buy some good vegetables. But that all of that kind of stuff is important. On Friday nights on the square, I think it's very important. I think Murfreesboro is a unique community, and it is home to us. And we don't live in Bedford County. We don't live in Davidson County. We support local, and we want to be local.
All right, we're going to take our final break and be right back with Matt Insell.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
It's the most magical day of the year, and you can watch it all live. Big G TV is where Christmas comes to life with coverage of the Murfreesboro Parade, Sunday, December 14th at 2 p.m. Brought to you by Kenneth Barrett for Sheriff, Middle Tennessee Electric, Farm Bureau Insurance, and Woodfin Funeral Chapels. See every float, every smile, and the moment Santa arrives on Big G TV. Streaming at wgnsradio.com/parade.
Sign-ups are going on right now for First Shot's Winter Basketball League in Rutherford County. Coach Andy Herzer guides kids to sharpen basketball skills and build teamwork through exciting clinics and games. Since 2003, First Shot has empowered youth to grow in mind, spirit, and body. Don't miss out. Join the fun and develop lifelong skills. Visit firstshottn.org today and register for the Winter Basketball League. That's firstshottn.org.
I've been helping people from Murfreesboro for over 30 years and spent a lot of time there over the years.
We love Murfreesboro. We have lots of friends down there. We've partnered with Middle Tennessee State.
And we found more and more people asking for our services, and at some point it just made sense to open up an office there for the convenience of the citizens of the community and the surrounding areas.
We wanted to actually physically be present there and not just going there a lot.
WGNS.
This is Kim Dunaway from Sunshine Nutrition Center. You hear me on Monday mornings at 7:20 talking about how to lead a healthier lifestyle. We carry supplements, personal care, and grocery items at both our Murfreesboro and Smyrna locations, family owned and operated since 1989.
Premier 6 Theater on Broad in Jackson Heights.
Let's all go to the movies.
Check out what's showing at murfreesboromovies.com. Popcorn popped fresh daily.
Movies like a good old famous day.
Premier 6 on Broad in Jackson Heights.
This is Chip Walters, and I'm honored to be your 2024 MTAR Realtor of the Year. I'm with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, and like many of you, I've seen the real estate market shift and change. People often ask, Chip, what's really going on? Well, that's a great question, and I believe in answering with solid, factual data. So let's cut through some of the noise. I invite you to reach out. Let's have a conversation about your real estate goals and the current market trends in your neighborhood. You can find all my contact information at choosechip.net.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable in WGNS. I'm Andy Herzer, founder and executive director of First Shot. And Matt, it just amazes me every time you come on here how quick this hour goes. I think I could sit and talk for days with you because I love the analytical side of our conversations, which I don't get a lot because I'm out of basketball. How do you guys as a staff look at what you signed early and how that's going to even look next year differently?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is trying to hold on to what we have. That's our biggest concern right now, is making sure these freshmen understand that year one looks a lot different than year two. Year two looks a lot different than year three. And if we can keep this group together, their year 2 and 3 and 4 is going to look a lot like Savannah Wheeler's year 2, 3, and 4 look, where you're in the second round of the NCAA tournament, you're winning 27 games, or you're winning 22 games in a row, you're winning 30-plus games, all of that, because we made a decision. It would have been easy for us to go and get transfers and all that. We made a decision that last year about this time that we're going to play young this season, and we're going to take some bumps, we're going to take some bruises, we're going to have some highs and some lows. But in the future, it's going to pay off for us. And we feel even more confident about that right now. We went and signed 2 players, one of which the players we signed from Hoover, Alabama, is ranked as the 72nd best player in the nation. That's not us saying that. That's ESPN putting that out. She's a 4-star recruit that we beat out numerous Power 4s for. And she decided to come here, and again, fits what we do at a high level and gets us an athlete on the perimeter that can get to the rim, that can do a lot of different things. I have another young lady from Tullahoma, Tennessee, and McLean Bobo that we signed. When we watched her, what we saw was toughness. We saw somebody that's going to get up in you and guard you and is not worried about who you are. And that's the type of players we win with at a high level. And we'll sign another 1 or 2, and then we'll look at our roster in about 3 or 4 months and say, what are we missing with this young group? What are we missing? What do we need to be special? And then we'll go into the portal and try to find that. And that's kind of how we put a roster together.
Matt, you've early on you didn't sign any foreign kids.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have kind of now dove into that international scene, which
I'm hoping to get the word today or tomorrow, but Wednesday at least, because signing week's over Wednesday. We're in a major battle right now for an Israeli that's down between us and another Power 4 school, and down between us and Purdue. And I'm hoping she'll tell us she's coming to us. I'm using Dorsar over there. Me and Dor are talking every day about trying to get that done right now, because Dor's over in Israel and Ksenia's over in Israel playing. They're trying to help us with that situation. But if they're out there worldwide, we're going to try to get them, and they're going to have to tell us no.
I just love that you go and compete.
Mm-hmm.
Not only in your schedule, but you're now going to compete against the Power 4s, and you guys just don't back down in anything.
No, we're not going to back down in recruiting. They're going to tell us no, and they're going to tell us why no. And a lot of the no's are coming now because we don't have the money. And we're playing a team on Thursday night that's when you look at them, you're looking at a team that probably cost them $2.5 million, and their salary, what they have invested in that team. And look, that's their money. They can use their money. I'm not mad at them for that. I wished I had $2 or $3 million that I could use to buy players with. And that's just the world we're in. We don't have that. But at the same time, finding those players that it's more than just money for them. And a Blair Boggess, a Macy Pfeiffer, it's about their experience. A Nicole, it's about her experience, and it's about getting better and all of those things. And there's still those type of players out there as well. And we're very fortunate to have a group of them right now that's what it's about. And hopefully it stays that way because, we lost a kid last year because of money. I mean, it is what it is. We can't do anything about that. There's no need of sitting around and crying about it. There's no need of me sitting around and making an excuse that Tennessee's got all this money invested in this team. That's just the world it's in. We got to figure out how to compete in that world, and that's what I think we're doing a good job at that.
Do you feel like because of the portal, there's more girls coming that are lost in the cracks out of high school?
I do.
Junior college.
I think there's a lot of them that's getting lost, and I think we have to find that player that may get lost. The kid we just signed that's the top 75 kid in the nation, there's no doubt about it. She can play for anybody in the country. I'm just telling you, this kid can really, really play. That maybe if the portal wasn't there, then maybe she ends up at a Georgia instead of a Middle. But you know what? They may have missed on her because they're waiting on a portal. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, we're very fortunate when it comes to that, and we're trying to find those players. And, you know, if anybody wants to give us a bunch of money, we'll take it for NIL. I can promise you that. And so if you got anybody out there listening that wants to give us some money to go buy one, we will.
It doesn't even have to be a lot, Matt.
Yeah.
Right? It's about accumulating.
It is.
And amassing.
You know, I get it. And, you know, we've had players, and you coach, when you were coaching, we had kids that we got young ladies that come in here that don't even have enough money to go to Walmart to buy deodorant or to buy shampoo. And it was a violation if I went and bought that for them.
Yes.
And now we can put some money in their pockets, and they can go and get the necessities that they need. And now in football, it's got a little bit out of control when it start talking about the powers and all that of $17, $18 million invested in teams. It's just like, wow. But being able to put money in somebody's pocket that they can go to Texas Roadhouse and eat, or they can go and buy some new shoes or things like that, because college basketball is a job. And if you don't believe it, come do it. I tell our players this all the time. This is your job. You're a Division I athlete. I recruited you to be a shooter. I'm expecting you to make 3 out of 5 attempts. And if you don't, there's going to be somebody else over here that maybe can do that. If I get you 5 wide open looks, I'm kind of expecting you to hit 2 or 3 of those. I'm not expecting all 5 of them. And so now you can put some money in their pockets that they can do some things with their friends and stuff like that. That's good. That's good for them. And I'm excited about that. We're able to do that for a lot of our young ladies, which is really good.
Well,
and a lot of that comes to our supporters. Have done a
Yes.
great job of helping us with that. And we got some guys that have been really and ladies that have been really great to our program and have done some things for our program. And I'm indebted my whole life to them, to be honest with you.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Is there a number that you think that you have to get to solidify that you're not going to lose a girl?
You know, I don't think there's ever going to be a number per se, because you're always going to want more. But for us, not in the SEC, if we've got $500,000-$600,000 that we can invest in our team every year, we're going to play at the top of the game. We're going to play at the top of the game. We're going to be a team at the top of the game, because, you know, at the end of the day, what we've made a living on is beating 7 through 14 out in players of the SEC. So if you're finishing 7 through 14, we're recruiting against you, and we can get that kid over you. But now with the money situation, 7 comes in and says, I'm going to give you $300,000 for you not to go to Middle Tennessee. There's not a lot we can do about it, you know. And so, you know, if you can have a budget of $500,000-$600,000, I think that there's no doubt about it that we can compete at the top of the game. I think we can now continue to beat those teams out on those players.
See, I think we have to have those conversations in our community, so our community knows that we want to go battle. And you guys, I want to thank you and your daddy for all that you guys have done in this community. Again, our thoughts are in prayer with Autumn and your dad as they battle through some stuff. And again, thank you for coming on air, Matt.
Hey, I appreciate everything you do for this community, Andy.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Diane Davenport.